It's June 22nd, 2022, 8:30 a.m. and this is my review on the GE glass stovetop oven. This is brand new. We've had it for approximately 3 weeks and it's beautiful when you first get it. This is one, just start out here. This is all they gave for instructions. You pay a whole bunch of money and you get just this little flimsy thing. And if you start reading through all this stuff, damage, cleaning the glass top, cooktop, and all the various things that would void the warranty if you don't use one thing in particular. If they give you a small bottle of this glass top cleaner polish, and if you don't use this, as they highly recommend, it voids the warranty. This stuff is what is the right word? It's junk. My husband did buy a huge bottle, which is heavy, and as you can see, yes, we've used it. I'll show you the glass stovetop here in just a few minutes, but cleaner and polish, all these little extras to take care of your stovetop when all a person wants to do, whether you're a woman or a man, is cook, wipe the stove off, and let it cool off and go. What's all this polishing business? Anyhow, here in particular, I noticed cleaning the glass top, and it reads, if pots with a thin overlay of aluminum or copper are allowed to boil dry, the overlay may leave black discoloration on the cooktop. This should be removed immediately before heating again, or discoloration may be permanent. And which means if you have something cooking, I'll just try to make this simplified, something cooking on one burner, and let's just say something does spill out, get on that burner, you're finished cooking that, and you move that pot over to another spot, over to another burner on warm, or just off onto a heating pad somewhere, and you want to use that burner again, you've got to let it cool totally down and clean it off and get it all off. Otherwise it's going to discolor. And then metal marks and scratches. Be careful not to slide pots and pans across your cooktop. It will leave metal markings on the cooktop surface. These marks are removable using the ceramic cooktop cleaner with a non-scratch cleaning pad for ceramic cooktops. Well, that's a crock, because this is the glass cooktop cleaner they provided, and it does not. So there I have to say about that. And we'll set that aside. And on this is not the glass top. This is that I have laying here over the glass top is something I purchased after getting my new glass top and oven, and to cover it up, to help protect it, because we like to come to the stove and just throw some bread down and do a little something and then wipe it and clean and walk away. Well, you don't want to do that when you have here, as I pull this up. Oh, and by the way, this sheeting is 450 degrees. It can withstand 450 degrees, and which I would not put it down if the burners were hot in the first place. Once they've there's a light which isn't on right now, but if the light is on, until that light is totally gone off and is black like that, then I would put this down. But it gets a little bit annoying having to pull these up and remove them when you're going to go use the stovetop. And here's the stove top. And I had been continuing cleaning it. I haven't done a lot of cooking in the last 3 weeks, but I have done some. And every time I do something, there's always something that has to be cleaned. So last time I cooked, several days back, I just did the best I could to wipe it down, because usually I just like to take a wet rag, wipe with a wet rag. That used to be nice for the other stove I had, and everything looked fine and dandy. Well, this being black, it just picks up every speck of everything, and as you can see, and to get these off, you really have to scrub hard. I'm taking my finger and doing this, and I don't know how to get some of these speckles off at all. I'd like to just take an SOS pad and scrub the heck out of it, but I don't think that would be a wise decision. Something has to be done. I don't know. The pan I put down on this to cook just on this small inner circle, it was a very good, clean, nice pan, and why this mark happened, I have no clue. I've worked and worked to try to get that off. If you're spending a lot of time cooking, who wants to spend so much time cleaning? Right here you can see on this outer circle of this burner here, it says power boil, and this is on the left side. On the right side, which is the larger one, there's 2 circles. There's no power boil on this one. So these are all, there's so many different things to read up on, but most of the things you probably have to, as everyone says, Google it to find out. And so let's start with, you look at it, and it looks like you've got 5 burners you can use. Well, that's not exactly how it works. This largest burner here to the front right has, for the control, you can either use the inner or you can use the outer, which would heats the whole thing up. That's very large. I don't know the diameter. Excuse me for not being able to state that. And then this is the next largest one, the outer, and then the inner. And then this back left one is the same size as the back right one, and then there's the middle one. Now the control for the middle one, I thought, well, this was a burner till maybe approximately a week after I had the oven. I noticed the control up here it's called the warming zone, and you can see it's how they put their little controls up there, and it's the back, middle, and you warm it to on. It doesn't tell you about the temperatures, and I'll have to go through the manual or Google it to figure out what those temperatures are, if it tells you. Now this is the control right here for the back, rear, right, rear, left one, and it starts, and it's called melt, and you're going to turn it counterclockwise, and then it goes up to high, and I'm not sure what the temperature is on melt or how hot it would get on high. This is for the burner to the very front right that has 2. You have your small burner and your large burner. And so if you want to turn the small burner on, you go counterclockwise, and instead of it starting with low and going up to high, which I would say would be the better way in which my other stove worked, it starts from high and goes down to low, so you've got to turn it counterclockwise and go down to low. If you want to use the large burner, you start it from high and go down to low. Very ridiculous. So we'll go across over here. Same with, for the back left burner, it starts and it goes from melt up to high. but the two front left burners, the small and the large, you turn it to the left. Starts with immediately to high, where I think that should go low, do medium, medium high, and then high. Same with the large burner. It should be that way. So cleaning this is a lot of work, and it's probably, in my opinion, it's worse than the first brand new car I ever bought that was black. That was in the late 1980s. Very hard to keep a black car looking nice. This is black, shows every speck of everything, and I wouldn't advise getting it if you're going to do a lot of cooking. If you just want to have something shiny black, perfect, and you're not ever going to use it, well, sure, get this. The oven we have used quite a bit. It works very well. It's nice, and its features, well, bake. It doesn't say it right on there, but if you hit the bake, it's 350, and then you hit start, and then it preheats, and it gets up there. Cancel that off. Broil. Hit start. I'm not sure what the temperature is going to be for that, but I'm going to turn that off. Air fry, convention or convectional roast, I don't know, or conventional blah blah blah, all these things. Oven light, I don't know why they have two different types of clean. Self clean, steam clean. It's interesting. And another thing I'm going to note is the timer on this. You have to click the button 2 times, set the numbers, and then click it again, and it starts. When the timer goes off, the volume on it is so low, nobody knows that what you have in the oven is done. So we started using other means for timing the things we're baking in the oven. So I'm very appreciative of my husband for him having wanted to get me this oven, but in my opinion, and for a review, I'd say don't pay the money. It's not worth it. It's time consuming. It's just having to wipe down this back area. Well, that's one thing, but on my white one it was much easier, and then having to wipe all this is time consuming. I could stand here for an hour trying to clean this all up, and the cost of this glass cooktop cleaner and polish is ridiculous. It's junk. And right there it says removes burned on food. Well, that's a lie. So even though it has the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, yeah, okay, get that on there. Let's get J.D. Powers to give it its high rating. Anyway, that's what I have to say about that. Take it or leave it. Have a good day.